Om Shanti. Welcome to Avikti Parivar. Today's day 20. Constantly experience an uncheckable, immovable, and constant stage. Today's topic: experience the corporeal and incorporeal stage in a second. Point for self respect, carefree, emperor. What is happening right now? Whatever is happening is very good, and whatever is going to happen will be the best of all. I am a carefree emperor. Practices Step 1: I am a carefree emperor. Step 2: whatever is happening is very good, and whatever is going to happen will be the best of all. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Baba wants us to experience our subtle stage and incorporeal stage. And of course, the soul is in the corporeal. So it's like three, right? Incorporeal, subtle, and corporeal. Like three worlds. World of silence, world of movement that is subtle, and world of action that is physical world. And one of the practice which is to become incorporeal and subtle is something which makes you complete and full. Soul through this body plays the part, do karma yoga. Constantly we use the body. When soul is body, the mind works, intellect works, all our organs work. Even the mind. When you are in the incorporeal world as a soul, so many ask me, what happens to mind intellect? Say they get merged. They get merged. But when we are in the corporeal world, then because soul is in the body, then you see things, you hear things, you do things. So they emerge. The thoughts emerge. Power to discern emerge. So actually it is more like what emerges and what merges, what I have to merge. I think that when we practice and experiment with these stages, then we see the benefits. Introverted, even for a few moments, it doesn't only bring calmness and detach, but also when you are introverted, some very beautiful churning can happen. When we churn something, a lot of small size waves around it, right? In churning. But then it's the butter which emerges, right? So every situation which comes in the life, there is a saying that whenever there is a moment of crisis, a next step in the life is emerging. It's not challenge in the way that you fail and you can't do it, but it's a challenge now from where your inner strength emerges. I always, anything happen, I say, let's see what next is coming. So next is not necessarily to make you defeated or make you not able to function, but something better is emerging. I remember when somebody said, when there is a change, there is always something good coming. But we are so used to something that as soon as we think of change, we are uncertain what's going to happen. So I think these practice of these stages will emerge some very beautiful, not only powers, but virtues in us. One is that I inculcate something. I want to have patience, I want to have love, I want tolerance. Other is when you are in your angelic stage, those qualities will emerge. When I am incorporeal, different qualities will emerge. So we have to look at both ways. One is inculcation, and other is that from that stage, let's say even simple thing, you are very peaceful. So when you are peaceful, you are positive. When you are peaceful, then your vibrations can help others. Power to decide works properly. So it's the stage from where that power emerges. So whenever Baba says stage, incorporeal stage, so we should try Amrit Vela 1520. I will be in incorporeal stage. And then you see what are your feelings, what virtues are emerging, what thoughts are emerging. Even when there is total silence, in silence, very beautiful thoughts emerge. Some very deep insights, clarity, all that happens when there is silence. So create a stage, and from that stage, experience what is emerging. So pay attention to inculcation of powers and virtues, but also the stage which Baba wants us to create. So not only powers and virtues will emerge, but that's the stage you will need, right? Finally, that's the stage we need is incorporeal. Brahma Baba's three words of incorporeal, viceless, and egoless. So I don't know, we spend little time uh, on incorporeal stage. And even while doing action, even when there is traffic control, I am soul doing actions through the body. It's called soul consciousness. So one is bodiless, one is soul conscious. I'm using body, but in the awareness that I am a soul, I am peaceful, I am loveful. So stage, I am kind of describing how important it is to create a stage and then see what is emerging from that stage. And that's called your experience, right? And also there is motivation. You would want to do that. You want to be in that stage because what you attain, what you experience, inspires you again to create that stage. So, stage is something very, very important. Baba says, remain aware of the method you have been, mm, method which you have, method which you keep for. What method which you have been shown to keeping your intellect focused on one thing. So Baba says, do not allow it to fluctuate. I mean, whole day, that's our practice, no? You're doing something, someone wants to talk to you, and you want to finish what you're doing. Few minutes, right? So that's really our practice all the time is that do not allow it to fluctuate because Baba says that detach from bodies and the physical world and experience the corporeal. It says corporeal, but it's angelic and incorporeal stage. So one of the ways detach from the world. Mm. So when you detach from the world, then you experience these stages. And that also in a second, Baba says in a Viman of golden age or Viman of at confluence age of your mind and intellect. Viman of your mind and intellect. Baba said, don't allow your intellect to fluctuate. Otherwise, Baba says, a lot of time is then wasted in what we do. A lot of battling happens. So Baba says, just as tapasvis, right? Yogis and tapasvis always sit on special seat. May not be thrown, but even a little piece of carpet or somewhere where they make their seat. In the same way, remain seated on constant stage. Sometimes you have to listen. You need patience, but just be constant, right? So Baba says, remain seated on the constant stage, for only then will you, Baba says, receive your future throne. It's not easy to sit on the throne, right? Because you can't move. Everyone's attention is on you. Mm. I remember sometimes in programs, we have to sit on stage for 3 hours. And we say, when we going to come off? When we going to come off? Mm. So you have to stay stable, no? If you are on the throne. So Baba says, as much you are stable here, that much will be your stable throne. So it's a big offer from Baba, right? Which we take it. Okay. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi. Good.
Hello. Om Shanti.
We we are looking forward to coming to the village soon.
We are
Um,
looking forward. Welcome you all.
the what you're sharing about the stage is so important. Is so important. I was thinking about what you're saying, and the question is, what is like the difference between, let's say, stage and awareness, smriti and stage?
They say Simriti and Sthiti.
Ah,
Stage is Sthiti, right? So when there is awareness, there is, from that awareness, stage is created, right? Let's say I keep awareness that I am soul, so for 10 minutes, then that becomes your stage.
hmm.
You know,
Anything that is
Simriti,
constant.
yeah, Simriti and Sthiti.
Okay.
So more you are, let's say if you for 15 minutes, you are in one awareness, that becomes your stage. And Baba wants not only awareness, but our stage. No, because it's stable. Awareness changes into stage.
Mm, right, right, right. And I was really thinking about what you just said about any stage, like different stages create the different powers. So let's say if I want the power to face, what stage should I create?
Power of
If I want the power to face,
face.
you say because you said stage will create powers. So I'm thinking like each of the power, there must be a stage that I have to create.
Yeah, we can try with even incorporeal stage or subtle stage, right? When
Hmm.
you have those stages, then you will experience that quality. Whichever quality you want to experience, that will emerge at that time. It depends. I say, no, let me be detached so that I can tolerate. Let me be detached so that I can understand what that person is saying. So this way, whatever is the need at this time, so whether it is power to face or power to listen, power to, many different, of course, face also. I am incorporeal, I am immortal soul, and just have that self trust. We feel very quickly threatened, we feel very quickly challenged. Instead of that, we said, okay, let's face it now, in the sense of don't avoid it, don't run away from that. Let's face it, right? But
Right.
somebody will say, should when I see a lion, should I face lion or what? So I asked that question like, yesterday I should have explained more that there are some of the things which you have to keep in the fridge, like chocolate or some things, so they don't become rajoguni. But it's the cooked food, it's more cooked food. But there are something like cookies, no, you won't make every day, right? You will keep in the fridge and then you will eat from there. So I think that's what, when it comes to power to face, many will have question. Face means, should I go and say, be in the mouth of tiger, or should I run, or what I do?
But
You
Didi,
know, in, in Peace Village, when we came, even now recently we haven't seen, they are very big size bear, and then they have family. So when they don't get berries to eat, they come out. And especially if there is a garbage dumpster, because they come to eat something, right? So what town was telling us in the beginning, as soon as we saw bear, everyone just runs. One time there were two families, and everyone was inside, and they said, if you run, bear will run behind you because thinks he has to run too. But if you start walking together with bear, they won't do anything.
you
But then it's
need
fear,
to have
right?
so much courage to be able to do that.
No, no, but there are many. Some sisters were saying they went to throw the garbage and bear was there. They quietly do it and came back. But if you panic at that time, they say bear also panics.
Mm,
So he's scared of you and you are scared of. So sometimes it's true too that our panic can create panic in the other,
right.
so we have to be, for using every power, you have to be sensible, you know,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
for everything. You have to
Hmm.
be sensible, and in relationships, you have to be very wise,
Right.
wisely decide.
Right.
Without that, no virtue will work, no power will work.
Hmm. Right. Didi, you were talking about lion and tiger. Actually, if you think about it in our lives, how many times am I facing a lion? Not even once. Actual lion, I'm not facing a lion. I'm not facing a tiger. So maybe we shouldn't
Maybe
make
it
such
will
a
be
big deal out of it.
maybe it will be once in life, right?
Right.
Because maybe light will take away your life too.
Right.
So it could
Right.
it could be only once in lifetime.
Right. So
Mm.
I feel we are making too big deal out of things. Like I like what you're saying about self-trust. If I have to face something, just face it. Why do I need to make such a big deal out of it in my head? Because we are not facing lions and tigers. It's only a lion and a tiger in my head.
Well, it's not only in head, it could come, no? Because when in Panda Bhavan, I don't have recently stayed, but when you stay in the morning, sometimes there are little tigers on the prey because they come out of jungle, and so like brothers know what to do because they
I
have seen
saw
them.
in Sukdam one time, tiger.
You saw, no?
Yes,
Yeah, so
Sukdam. Right.
little cow, you know. Mm.
Yeah. Um, the when you were talking about being sensible with like the power to face or any virtue to be sensible, I was thinking about tolerance, that we need tolerance, but maybe we have to be sensible about that too. So what stage do you think we would need to create to have tolerance?
You know, when you feel that you are being victimized for something and you are becoming more subservient, then you stop it there, you know. Then
Mm.
you don't tolerate. You talk about it, you discuss about it instead of keep going on like that, you know. As
Hmm.
soon as you find that you are losing your self respect, you are losing your power to discern, you know, you are losing many things. You're not gaining it. Immediately notice that it's not tolerance, you know. You understand? Let's say if you keep tolerating, then you are victim of that. If
Mm.
somebody abusing and you listen every time. I remember one time Jagdish Bhai had raised this question. But then you have to say, no, stop it. I cannot take it, or why you have to do that, you know. But not just keep going on like that.
Right, right. So, Didi, when you were saying about being sensible, maybe if I'm tolerating too much, I need to face. And if I'm facing too much, I need to tolerate a little bit.
But also, let's say you are starving, right? You're tolerating. But if food is available and you can get it, why you tolerating too? Because in one situation, somebody said, I was so hungry, but they were not served. Said you could ask, no, what
Right.
they are to ask.
Right.
So you don't need to tolerate certain things. And
Mm-hmm.
sensible is the knowledge which gives us the sense, no?
Right.
Not sensible in a logic way. That is good also. But Baba explains us everything. And
Mm.
that's oh that makes sense, you know.
All
When
right.
Baba said Ram stop, it makes sense. So act sensibly means act based on knowledge.
Mm.
Your intellect, your reasoning should be based on knowledge.
Right. That's a really good one. Some of the things that Baba said in Sunday's Murli, I thought they were very interesting, especially around anger. And I was wanting to ask you about, so we all raised our hand, let's say, oh, Baba, I'm giving anger, right? And then it just comes suddenly, right, from nowhere because Maya is obviously listening. So it comes suddenly. What do you suggest? How do you suggest that we handle this thing that just comes suddenly?
So then, if it comes, you allow it to act, right? How it
Maybe not.
passes your mind,
It's inside.
that means you know it's coming, right? So you have to. See how you will protect it, no? How will not express it? And why not? Like I know that Dadi Gulzar or one of Dadi gave example. Let's say you have some stuff inside, you are having, so like food, you have eaten something, not getting that. So you like to vomit. So, but vomit at the right place, right? That's what, wherever you sit, you have same thing to say. Wherever, oh, this is not right. This is not right. But okay, what is, you have feeling, but express at the right place, right person, so that you get either salvation or you are heard. But if you just keep doing all the time, so I always like that okay, you have to say it, but say it to the right person in the right way. So you are become light. Otherwise, you don't become light. You will become heavier later on, right?
Right. But Didi, all of you, right? The dadis and you don't have to say it to anyone. You're not saying it to anyone. How do I get to that stage where I don't need to say it to anyone anywhere?
I mean, I don't remember I get angry in the sense of
Exactly. I want to be like that. How do I become like that?
how to become like that. Believe in patience, calmness, coolness, love, peace. If you believe those quality, use one of that quality, no? And you know what I realized when I was very new in Gyan, and so many years ago, must be the beginning of my spiritual life. So Baba has told us not to get angry or whatever happens is karmic account. So a brother used to come and his wife won't come. So one evening I was sitting outside centers, lawns, and she came and she was so angry, so angry. And so for me, like why she's angry? What have I done? So I keep listening. And after a little while, I said, "Can I bring a glass of water for you?" She said, "But I'm getting angry." I said, "But you drink water, then we talk properly." But that changed her completely. I didn't say anything. Even these days, I notice something, but I figure out what is the best way to see that person is not hurt. Things work out. That's the whole thing. So I think that, yeah, you have to believe in virtues, powers, and use one of them. And I know after that, I have so much because she was not angry on me. She was angry on her husband, but she couldn't say to her, so she had to say to someone. So she thought I am the best person, maybe, because he was coming there. I said, but we don't force people to come. They come because they get something. And if you don't want him to come, you tell him. But I said everything. But after that, she started coming every day. Same I noticed with some of the sister. One sister had a lot of patience, and I really admire her. So there was one leader of one of the group was very against Brahma Kumaris. So his friend thought to contact with that sister. For half an hour on telephone, whatever he could say, defame, whatever. And she kept quiet and yes, yes. And after half an hour, he said, "Oh, I must really surrender to you. I tested your patience. I tested your sweetness. I tested your peace. I tested your love, but you passed in on it. So I will come. I will do what you want me to do." So it's like winning. If you patient, let them say, but I am not that. We're not doing that. So why I should get upset? Why I have to defend myself? So when they finish, they themselves surrender.
Mm.
Many instances like
Right, right. right? It's a big job, Didi, getting rid of anger that Baba
Yeah,
said. It's a very big job. The gift that Baba is asking.
but
Because it's
it is
not just
more.
like the gross anger, it's like annoyance, irritation, those things are
No, but I think that if we want people to be liberated from there, you have to set good example, no?
right.
And really, even Lokik people admire it. I remember we used to have VIPs, we take them to Madhuban. They observe everything.
Mm-hmm.
I took a guest from UN. When I came back, she said, "Can you come and talk to new NGOs?" I said, "Why you want me to talk to them?" Then she said, "The way I saw you interacting, the way I saw you on deciding things, I really want them to hear." I mean, of course, a long story, but what I'm saying, doors open for service when there is power, there is virtue,
Right,
not
right,
just by. So it's
right,
not lot of, but we are doing more work because we are not using powers and virtues, right?
right, right, absolutely.
We are doing more than we result
Mhm.
is less than what we're doing. But if you really do from that virtue and power, you will have to do less and more result. No?
Mm, absolutely. Thank you, Didi.
Okay.
I have a couple more
Okay.
questions, but I'll wait till I come to Peace Village and then we can
Mhm.
ask.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Okay, Om Shanti. See you soon. Yeah.